It's time to construct one of the biggest and craziest creations this channel has ever seen. This is Mega Monster Amusement Park, full of rides, carnival stands, and many amazing characters and play features. And at the end of the video, we're going to see if we can simulate some of the most intense and crazy scenes from the show out of LEGO. Let's get into it right now. The whole entire idea for this Mega Monster Amusement Park was riding on the fact that we needed lime green roller coaster pieces. And finally, in 2023, our first lime green roller coaster piece came out in the Ninjago City Market set, but it was only one of the roller coaster pieces. And thankfully, in 2024, we got an amazing Robot World amusement park from the City line of LEGO. And at that point, I knew I needed to try my hand at making my own Mega Monster Amusement Park. But little did I know how truly hard it was going to be. So the first step was to buy this Robot World amusement park. Wow. And it's a really fun roller coaster set. But sadly, we're gonna have to use every single one of these green roller coaster pieces. But we need more. And to figure out how many more of these roller coaster pieces we're going to need, we're gonna have my brother Jonathan digitally design this set so we can figure out the layout for this whole entire roller coaster.
So it was my job to figure out the size of this Mega Monster Amusement Park. So I went on to LEGO Studio and figured out the footprint of this massive park. We decided that the roller coaster would be the perimeter with the rest of the park inside. I figured out the placement of all the support columns and figured out how many pieces we need to build the columns and the track on top of them. I made a few different versions of the coaster and asked my brother which one he liked best. And we landed on a design that has a footprint using 32 16x16 base plates. Wow. So I sent the XML file over to my brother, and now it's time for him to order the parts.
Now that he was done, it was time for me to go onto my computer and grind away ordering parts. And now it was time to wait. A few months later, I had gotten a couple of these packages, but there was one of these packages that was taking so long to get sent out from lego.com. But we had enough pieces to start on this build. Catch. So we laid out all 32 16x16 dark tan base plates in the shape that we needed them for this build. Here we have a LEGO minifigure. And this is how big the platform is. So this is going to be a massive roller coaster. Then we started laying out where we wanted different restaurants, rides, and attractions to go. We wanted a Ferris wheel, a spinning monster, a restaurant, some other concession stands, and I was afraid that we wouldn't have room for the underground ride. But we'll have to see if we can squeeze it in somewhere in the future, because it is a very important part in the show. For the supports, I have a lot of yellow pieces. We had to construct a lot of these rectangular yellow pieces. All right, we have 35 of these elements. These parts will go in between the yellow scaffolding pieces going up for the supports of the roller coaster. But we're gonna have my brother Jonathan see what he can do on making a sign for this Mega Monster Amusement Park.
I decided to tackle this challenge using bricks. With brackets, I attached small plates to the back of a really big plate and slowly but surely spelled out the words Mega Monster. I used a unicorn horn, a cow horn, and 3 different types of claws to get just the right shape for this lettering. The letters are white with a red background. And once the words were complete, I put a perimeter of nougat plates outlining the sign with tons of bright neon lights encircling it. This place looks like a party. I tiled off the outside of the sign with dark gray and built 2 enormous supports that hold the sign above the entrance. I placed the sign onto the build, and we added some red trees out in front of the entrance, with a small bird's nest in one of them. Using these 2x4 rounded burnt orange tiles, we built a pathway leading under the arch and into the park. But what good is an amusement park without any visitors?
Now, visitors have come very far to this Mega Monster Amusement Park. I built all kinds of people to fill this amusement park. I made one old lady with a cane using a wand piece, a swaggy looking dude with a croissant, some angry and excited kids, and I recreated my Brick Legends minifigure. This guy used to be the face of my channel years and years ago, and he's here to visit Mega Monster Amusement Park. The last minifigure we need is a mascot character to go throughout the park and give the little kids balloons and stuff. These characters are always terrifying, and this one I made dragon themed and gave him very long legs.
Now that there are many people at the Mega Monster Amusement Park, we need something to entertain them. And what better ride than something that will make them leave right when they're done? And I wanted to make this ride. Bruh. And yes, it looks weird in the show, so to stay show accurate, I had to make it weird. So first, I started out with the base gear, and then I added 2 gears on the side that spin in opposite directions. And then I attached Technic poles to bigger arms that go up and down when you rotate it. Wow. Now to cover up the Technic structure, I covered it in lots of green shields. And then I added little carts to the end of these arms with weird googly eyes and pink fins at the back. Finally, I had to make the head, which looked really weird with 2 goofy yellow horns, 2 small googly eyes, with a large mouth with giant red lips. This monster might have gone into a little bit of lipstick. Now I can click it to the base, add some stairs leading up to the ride to access this cart that can move out of the way when the ride is going. Now, we can place some people on this ride and they can have the time of their life.
After that absolute spin of a ride, the people are ready for a more relaxed and smooth ride. So I'm going to build them a Ferris wheel. The initial design came from the creator's LEGO set, which came out a few years ago. I recolored the wheel green and the supports red. Using this wheel piece, I was able to make a mechanism that turns the whole wheel. I also covered it with a bunch of lights. Now, of course, we need some carts, and I wasn't about to recreate these ones from the show. Nope. They're terrifying. And of course, the carts have to be monster themed. I made some with 1 eye, some with 2 eyes, some with 3 eyes, some with 4 eyes. Then I put them on and attached them with these spear pieces. Now we can place this build on the base plate and make a little line going to it. Now the people can board, and I made a little control panel so it can speed up or slow down the Ferris wheel. Now the amusement park is running quite well, and Jay brings Nia on a date to the park. But they're more interested in somewhere to eat, because Jay loves food. So it's time for me to make the Monster Restaurant. The outside of this restaurant is light yellow with red trim. I also used this technique where you place in windows at an angle. And to finish the first floor off, I added carnival lights and a doorway leading in to a nice wooden floor, a booth where Nia and Jay can sit. I was even able to recreate the 7-layered monster burger that Jay and Nia never actually eat because it looks pretty nasty. But thankfully, my LEGO one looks pretty appetizing. On the other side of the shop, we have a small display case with hot dogs and other food items. In the back, I installed a bathroom because Jay is having serious problems. And no, it's not because he ate the burger. Something very strange is happening to him. In the show, Jay starts turning into a snake. So to recreate this, I gave him a lime green hand, and I gave him Moro's head to give him that green snaky look. Then, using a lot of teal pieces, I constructed the roof. I especially like these Nexonite tiles, which make for beautiful roof shingles. I added a yellow dragon head, eating a hot dog, and winking at the same time. Then I built a small room facade with red windows along the outside, and another teal roof going up to where I capped this off with a luchador monster helmet. This head was quite fun to construct using brilliant lime green and red. I also made horns coming out of this side and gave this luchador monster very sharp teeth. This is probably the brightest and most colorful building I've ever constructed, but it looks awesome, and I'm sure Jay and Nia are just having a great time on their first date. But there are only so many 7-layer monster burgers that can go around, and the demand for food here at Mega Monster Amusement Park is pretty high. So we placed down the Calamari Club and the Monster Drool food stands. The Calamari Club is known for its amazing octopus hot dogs. The main color for the food stand was slate blue. We also added a menu, and finally, to catch the attention of the people passing by, we put a massive octopus with googly eyes on top of it. We also placed down a monster mucus stand where you can get your favorite slushies in 4 different flavors. The roof of this slushie stand was really fun to make because I used a lot of these claw pieces in teal overlapping each other to make it look like a straw roof. And for the sign on top, we have a giant slushy cup. Now people can quench their thirst at the Monster Mucus shop. But sadly, the parts for the main attraction, the roller coaster, still have not arrived. But at least I have some track pieces from my Robot World set that I can place down to start this roller coaster. I decided to make a loading dock where the people can get onto the roller coaster before it starts. This build was pretty simple with 4 posts going up. And to keep with the color scheme of lime green, I used these archway pieces with rounded transparent wall pieces in between to use as skylights. And on top of the roof, I made a small orange dragon laying across it using these tiny dragon wing pieces. I also added carnival lights and some gates that can open up to let the people onto the roller coaster. As I was staring longingly at our amusement park, wishing that we could complete this roller coaster, suddenly I got a notification on my phone that said the pieces had arrived.
We have the pieces. Let's go. All right, here we have our package. Yes!
I think we have enough of these pieces to construct our roller coaster. Now that we had a slew of yellow pieces and a lot of these green track pieces, we were finally able to construct the roller coaster. It has a total of 12 yellow support pillars. And of course, the most satisfying part of this whole video was putting the lime green track pieces snaking throughout this build. And the final result looks stunning and brings this whole amusement park together in a new, fresh way. Now it's time to test the coaster cart out and see if it makes it all the way back to the loading station.
And then you...
But with so much planning already going into this, we just built a little click system that when it comes up to the arch that goes behind the sign, it grabs onto this little clicking system and you can just push it back over the hump and it makes it to the loading dock. It's almost perfect, but not quite. And that's okay because this roller coaster looks fantastic. I tried to design the coaster cart based off the one from the show. I made it sand green and put a little dragon face on the front. Now you can load up people and they can have the time of their life going on this roller coaster. On top of one of the yellow supports, we made an archway with an angry face and flames coming out of the ears. Now we have to make some entertainment for those scaredy cats who won't go on the roller coaster ride. Yes, I'm looking at you. I'm kidding. I'm sure you love roller coasters. First, I made a hammer hitting stand where you can test your strength. I added this really fun gradient going from dark red to lime green, and at the very top added a bell. So if you hit it with this hammer hard enough, the bell will ding. Then I constructed another small arcade-like game where you sit in a chair, you grab a stud shooter, and you can try to shoot these lava monsters. I put a tooth plate with a gear that when you swivel the chair, the monsters flip up and down behind this small miniature city I built. I added some prizes along the wall that you could win and some more carnival lights on the top. The roof is actually made of transparent purple 1x2 plates that I have an enormous amount of from the Oni Titan. And now we can place it on the build and, oh, Dareth can play it. Well, Dareth is probably going to be there for a while. I'm not sure if he's a fan of roller coasters. And of course, every amusement park needs a gift shop. And I designed my gift shop to look like a Japanese pagoda, with the golden dragon face on the second level and some blue flags. Inside the gift shop, you can buy Lego sets, coffee mugs, little rubber duckies for your Jeep, and different monster themed shirts. And for the really little kids who aren't even tall enough to go on the roller coaster, we made them a small spinning ride with little monster carts. We used lever pieces for the eyes and gave them little golden tails. These monster carts are kind of cute and also kind of cursed. Now you can spin these kids on this ride, and I am not even close to sure how this theme park is safe. These kids are spinning at 1,000,000 miles per hour. To add even more life to this theme park, we made pathways weaving throughout the theme park, going to different rides. Also, I made a tan decorated wall that goes around the beginning of the big roller coaster. We also added flower pots and bamboo to give this place a splash of color. And to make sure the naughty kids weren't running all over the park, we had to install a lot of different fences. We also placed down some benches and some trash cans that you can throw up in if you get too sick. Now this build is almost complete, but we still have not installed the dark ride.
Oh no, the snakes have attacked, and they're on the hunt for the blue Fang Blade, which is hidden in the dark ride. Since Mega Monster is so full of rides, we need to fit this dark ride back here underneath this roundabout. For the entrance, I used this curved piece from Ninjago City Markets and a bunch of colorful carnival lights. Above the archway, we have a minecart blasting out of this sign with two small ghosts on each side. If I was at an amusement park, I would want to ride this ride just by looking at the sign. To make this coaster, I used 4 track pieces and put them in a circle. Since we wanted this ride to be cave-like, we added a bunch of stalagmites, a small stream, slime dripping from the ceiling, and many rock details. We added a function so that when you run into this keep out sign, this monster jumps out and scares you. The coaster cart is themed like a minecart with a big light on front. But the snakes are here for the Fang Blade, and I hid the Fang Blade underground beneath this trapdoor. Now you can lift up the ground to reveal the Fang Blade. After placing in this boarding station and control panel, this ride is ready to roll.
Now this Mega Monster Amusement Park is fully complete, with people walking around, riding on rides, eating food, buying merchandise, and having a very good time, as you should at an amusement park. I'm super happy with all the different rides. There is so much to see and do at this amusement park. We probably used every single LEGO color there is, and it's so different from anything else I've made. I love all the different monster and dragon faces as either signs or rides. And I especially love the big sign that says Mega Monster. It really catches your eye, but by far my favorite ride is a massive green and yellow roller coaster that stands head and shoulders taller than all the other attractions. It works wonderfully, and I could be literally playing with this set all day. So now it's time to simulate 4 different scenes from the show. In Season 1, the Ninja go to Mega Monster Amusement Park, and the snakes arrive there too, looking for the Fang Blade. And of course, Samurai X shows up to save the day. I built up my Samurai X mock, and at one part, this Samurai X mech actually rides the roller coaster. Now, pushing the Samurai X mech down the roller coaster does not work, so we're going to actually attach it to a coaster cart and see how it handles this ride. Well, that did not last very long, and unfortunately, I think Nia's gonna have to do some repairs on her Samurai mech. In the same episode, the snakes tie up Nia, put her on the roller coaster, and are ready to send her down the roller coaster towards a ring of fire. And we actually made a jump, so that now when you take this coaster cart down the track, it actually jumps and flies off into the abyss of nothingness, or just the ground. So let's hope someone saves Nia before she goes through this ring of fire and into her impending doom. But right as she reaches the ring of fire, Jay, the elemental master of lightning, unlocks his true potential. I actually added a lot of different lightning pieces to this Jay minifigure just to make him even more epic, and he stops the roller coaster and pushes it back up to save Nia. Now, our third simulation from the show actually takes place in Skybound. When Cole and Jay are investigating who framed them, Ronan shows up to put them in prison. Now, I made Jay and Cole in their pedestrian clothes, and they sneak into Mega Monster Amusement Park when it's completely shut down and no one's there. I also built Ronan and gave him this massive taser gun. Now I can chase him around Mega Monster Amusement Park and tase the ninja to his heart's content. Man, I kind of feel bad for Cole. I wish he could finish his churro. And the final simulation is from Season 7, when the Vermilion attack Mega Monster Amusement Park to take the metal to construct the Iron Doom. I built some Vermilion warriors to wreak havoc. They're even taking my precious head I spent hours working on, but Kai and Lloyd are here to save Mega Monster Amusement Park. They get out their swords and start attacking the Vermilion warriors. But Kai has a brilliant idea and leads him onto the roller coaster. Then Kai jumps off right as Lloyd is riding down on the roller coaster, and he smushes all of them and they turn into little snakes. Mega Monster Amusement Park has been saved once again. It's been a while since Mega Monster Amusement Park has shown up in the season, and I think it's time they go to Mega Monster Amusement Park again. Well guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Mega Monster Amusement Park was a thrill to make, and if you guys want to make this giant mock yourself, you can go to brick-legends.com or to the link in the description, and you can pick up your very own digital instructions for this mega mock we've created. And the best part is they're half off from now until this date right here, so get them while they're fresh, and I cannot wait to see you in my next Brick Legends video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.